Every once in a while, esports sees the rise of a true competitor, a world-class, one-in-a-million superstar who, quite simply, has it all. These individuals have the plays.
Shot for nothing, nice frag from him, but it's going to be all down to Stewie. Able to, oh my god, what the shit?
They have the personality.
Oh god, I love it.
Yes!
Yeah, that is...
Cole, how mad are you right now?
And finally, their unmistakable it factor.
What's up, bitch?
Because at the end of the day, esports isn't just about dominating the competition, it's about doing it in style.
The hell am I looking at? That is a bunch of cat ears, or I don't know what's going on.
But what if I told you that one of the sweetest, silliest, and most skilled superstars in League of Legends is one you've probably never heard of? Meet Lee KaKAO Byung-kwan, a giggly, glasses-wearing jungler who, despite once being recognized as one of the greatest competitors his game has ever seen, has somehow spent the latter half of his career spiraling into irrelevance. Thanks in part to his ill-fated arrogance
말하자면 이번 시즌은 롤드컵 가는구나.
and some truly terrible luck.
The two secret weapon is this. Well, let's not give away all this.
KaKAO has managed to cement himself as the Korean divinity that not only never was, but really should have been.
You know, it seems like KaKAO was one of those players that, you know, hit a high very quickly and was at that peak, but then, you know, for whatever reason didn't want to sustain that.
The crazy thing about KaKAO is that he isn't washed. He's still arguably as good as he ever was. So what exactly is stopping him from becoming the household name he was meant to be?
카카오야, 줄 수 있는 게 이 숟가락밖에 없다. 어디 가서는 밥 굶지 말고 힘내야 돼, 알겠지?
네,
파이팅!
어디서든 굶지 않겠습니다.
Okay, so if you're not familiar with KaKAO, then chances are you haven't been watching League for very long. You're also definitely not one of those hipsters who thinks that League pretty much peaked in 2014 and has been going downhill ever since. Renowned for his happy-go-lucky attitude, aggressive jungle play, and being an all-around cutie pie, KaKAO has long been recognized as one of Korea's most explosive talents.
Can't do the 1v4 just yet.
Quite
Shot glass on Rookie, very nice, and Goon gets that kill. Really well played there. Arrow just sits there, takes out Zephyr. Now he's on the Gorilla. Another kill. Kha'Zix gets that one in the resets. Again, KaKAO comes over for the triple, and that is going to be an ace.
His potential star power was so obvious to KT Rolster that he was recruited by the org at the tender age of 17. Now, from the get-go, it was clear that KaKAO was something special. The kind of competitor that orgs should be salivating over.
둥근 코끝을 가졌으니 애교가 많고 가식이 없다. 곱게 뻗은 턱에는 말려눈과 의지가 또렷하니.
That's not quite what I meant.
아랫입술이 풍성하고 입꼬리가 올라간 것이 사람들과 어울리기 좋은 상이나.
Fuck, I hope HR doesn't see this. Anyway, as I was saying, KaKAO ticked a lot of boxes for KT. He wasn't just marketable because he had endless charisma, he also happened to be one of the fiercest junglers in the world.
And KaKAO going back underneath that turret. Johnny in big trouble, though. A lowly support under turret against 4 people. Unfortunately, that's not going to work too well. He lives for now, though. And in the end,
KaKAO got a
to get a
double.
kill. Are you kidding me?
여기서 카카오가 또 이블린 쪽으로 들어가나 싶더니 룰루를 차냄으로써 같이 잡았죠.
그렇죠. 아마 이블린은 한 대만 때리면 되니까.
This is dangerous. Riftwalk, flash into the Dragon Pit. Rookie comes down too, but now he's a bit caught. Watch the Wild Growth onto him, and there's KaKAO coming in. They get the ult, save a bit low.
The combination of his skill on the Rift and his magnetic personality drew fans to him. And it wasn't long before they dubbed his iconic, infectious laugh the KaKAO.
우리 카카오는 또 웃음소리가 독특하잖아.
For 2 years, KaKAO inspired fear, admiration, and rivalry, whilst helping to spearhead KT's rosters to success.
카카오 원맨팀 많이 고평가당하는 선수 같아요.
The peak of his career came in the summer of 2014, when following his infamous Grand Finals loss to SKT the year prior, KaKAO rallied his way back to the most coveted and competitive stage in League, and emerged not only victorious, but as one of the best players in the world.
Is this it? Is KT Arrows gonna take it right here? The Nexus is going down. All they need to do is focus it. Oh my gosh, they're doing it. KT Arrows, they take Champion Summer. Are you Arrows? No way! It may sound like people being crushed in the trash compactor in the Death Star, but that is actually the sound of joy.
Listen to them, they're dying, Artie.
It's a beautiful sight. Well deserved.
Lost his first Champions Final. He's back. He is the king. And what a fitting player for MVP.
As the reigning champions of League's most competitive regional circuit, KT looked like serious contenders to win Worlds that year. But they didn't even come close. Why? Well, because, as it turns out, in order to win Worlds, you have to make it to Worlds. You see, before 2015, winning the summer split didn't automatically book your spot at Worlds like it does now. And several days after their epic domestic title win, KT had to face off against Najin White Shield in a qualifier to compete on League's biggest stage. The problem was that KaKAO and KT assumed that as defending champions, they'd just breeze through their opponents.
말하자면 이번 시즌은 롤드컵 가는구나.
And that cocky, nonchalant attitude proved to be costly.
It's going to be really hard for Shield to save this one.
Well, he grabbed Rookie.
Spear comes in. Oh, Goon got it. He got Baron. Whoa, able to take it with the Orianna damage, and there's a kill for Zeph onto Chani on top of that.
But really sloppy play from KaKAO to even let that happen. But in the qualifiers for Worlds, but this is the right time to catch on fire.
I would say so. KaKAO getting a little bit caught here. Goon coming in. There's the death mark on KaKAO. Will be able to get out no problem. Window a little bit late to the party. Tristana jumps away, but there's one kill already. Solar Flare slows people down, but there's no follow-up.
Wow, interesting.
KT is ahead, 4-2 on turrets. And it looks like Najin wants to get some picks. Arrow a little bit low. Oh, looks like Goon has to back off though. Najin needs to be careful here. A kill for Watch, but it's not over yet. Someday knocks Zepha away. What a brawl. Double kill though for Watch coming in. Save just hacking away from the back lines, and another big fight, an ace and a triple kill. And I guess you can give up top turret for that. Yeah, that's okay.
Again with these little bitty skirmishes that are happening, and there's KaKAO. That is not a happy KaKAO face.
Yeah. Believe it or not, guys, the summer champions, KT Arrows, eliminated 3-0 in the gauntlet, and Najin Shield goes on to fight for a spot at Worlds.
That's right. Not only did KaKAO and KT get fucking clapped, they became the first roster who won Champion Summer to not qualify for Worlds. And that is where all of KaKAO's problems began. Now, it's no secret that up until recently, Korea was head and shoulders above the rest in terms of international dominance. It was also very obvious that it was getting on the nerves of the other regions.
But it would feel a lot better if we just crushed these smug Asians.
KaKAO was pretty much the epitome of what Doublelift was talking about. Guileless as he was, KaKAO was a god, and he knew it.
일단은 한국이 최고고요. 중국이 지금 한국을 따라하고 있는데 말 그대로 너무 따라하는 정도? 끝맺음이 너무 없어요. 유럽은 조금 그런 게 있는 것 같아요. 막 자기들 막 놀이터 가지고 혼자 모래성 쌓는 그런 느낌?
Now, it was also around this time that China began investing unholy amounts of moolah into their own League of Legends scene, specifically by poaching the best that Korea had to offer.
이게 말이 되나 싶을 정도의 너무 높아서 말이 되나 너무 풀리는 거 아닌가라고 생각해가지고 그냥 뭐 하고 있었는데 최근 들어가지고 그게 사실이라는 게 알려져. 시장에 들어오니까.
Thanks to the absurdly fat paycheck Invictus Gaming was offering him, and what he felt would be a free ticket to Worlds, KaKAO became one of the first of his region's superstars to participate in what would later be called the Great Korean Exodus.
저번 롤드컵도 SKK한테 2번이나 무너지면서 한 걸음 때문에 못 갔잖아요. 또. 그래도 중국 가가지고 이만큼 노력하면 되지 않을까 생각 가지고 가는 것 같아요.
Now, even though the LPL proved to be more than just a cakewalk for KaKAO and IG, the team still qualified for Worlds. KaKAO finally had the opportunity to step onto the stage he'd seemed destined to dominate. That is, until an unexpected disaster struck.
I think IG is going to win because I'm a good friend of IG's coach, and he told me that they have secret weapon.
Insider info, Tabe.
Yeah, he told me that KaKAO maybe will choosing Hakram or Lee Sin jungling, and he said that if he really picks that, we have to put strong attention to him. And he said they are going to pick Kalista and Cannon bot. And
well, so now everybody listening is just going to ban those out. But what if that's the plan? What if they ban those out? And they really have other strategies. Tommy, you're throwing everybody. No, I'm just kidding.
There's also other two secret weapon is this.
Well, let's not give away all their secret weapons. Let's not give away all their secret weapons. Come on. Now.
That's right. Tabe took to the analyst desk and leaked IG's secret strats live. On camera. In the middle of groups.
Obviously, it's one of the basic, requirements of being on-camera talent or being a caster of any kind in any sports space is that you don't share information between teams. It's certainly, just not at all. There's no excuse, whether it's public or not.
Naturally, IG's tournament hopes were sent into the shitter, and seemingly KaKAO's career along with them.
총평이 살짝 희망을 갖다가 암흑 속으로 빨려 들어간 그런 느낌이네요.
Despite the crushing disappointment of bombing out of Worlds, KaKAO was determined to stick it out in China. But his descent only continued. He joined Wan Yu Dream in the Chinese LSPL in the spring of 2016, but even with the talented Korean, the team was relegated after having a poor performance throughout the split. Come 2017, KaKAO made his way to the West and joined Misfits Gaming's up-and-coming EULCS roster in the spring, where he proved that he was still capable of flashes of brilliance.
I thought that they could go for the aggressive play, but with the presence of KaKAO, he's forced to win on Memento.
Look at that from the Void Spike. Flash forward, Taste of Fear is not enough. Ooh. Red buff slows down Memento. KaKAO needs to get in range. The cooldowns not going to connect. The Overload is locked down. KaKAO turns around to Knight. Knight's running a little low on mana. 200 HP. KaKAO sidesteps, gets the kill! In the previous game, he's slacking so badly this game. Only 144, obviously.
KaKAO. Oh, he got it!
He steals it!
Here comes the TP!
Making a joke.
The shield on Sven. KaKAO, he's got it! He kicked him!
Sven.
He's got him!
Sven's gonna go down.
He's still alive!
Look at the lifesteal! Finally, Sven is taken out. Shockwave, that's gonna be enough. No nether grass by. The Power of Evil needs a few more seconds before he can use the Square Rush. Shockwave found nobody. KaKAO looks for Samax. Here goes legendary. It's 21 kills. 4 Misfits are looking for more. Xerxes, collateral damage to safety. KaKAO's Sonic Wave. The Lee Syndrome is strong today. Exile's rooted in place. Shut down by Power of Evil. KaKAO's not done yet. He's looking for Xerxes. GA gets popped. Ignar throws down a ward for Vision. Where's the rest of Unicorns? They're running for their lives.
I feel good because we finally win.
Stunningly enough, KaKAO was kicked from Misfits due to the language barrier between him and his teammates, in spite of the fact that he'd put on what they called a handful of MVP-level performances. After a short layover in Turkey, KaKAO finally returned home to Korea as something of a prodigal son. A former superstar who, since abandoning his region for a paycheck, would have to re-earn his fans' approval. And absurdly enough, he did. Just not in the way everyone expected. After being relegated from the LCK on Jin Air, KaKAO was kicked. Again. Determined to make it back to the top, he joined APK Prince, whom he helped get into Challengers and qualify for the actual LCK.
Wait a second. Get Ezreal.
APK finally made it to LCK.
And shockingly, after getting his second lease on life, KaKAO left the team.
But why?
Whatever the reason for his departure, KaKAO's career was in a tough spot. Any other player might have given up, but he wasn't finished. He bounced back in 2020 by joining Seora Biol Gaming in Challengers and went on to win the spring split with them. Even though they were being heralded by the community as the team to enable KaKAO's long-awaited return, things sadly didn't pan out that way in their fight for LCK promotion.
The Azir does have to fall for it, but that is all the damage available for Sarabal, now taken off the board. Gorilla there doesn't even eat his grey health, doesn't need to, as this Nexus is going to be taken down, and congratulations to Sandbox, and welcome back to the LCK.
As of right now, it isn't clear what the future holds for this cosmically unlucky jungler. He's gone back to Turkey to play for Supermassive, but who knows for how long. The hope, of course, is that he'll return to Korea and pick up where he left off in 2014. And sure, to some, that might sound crazy. But here's the thing. Through all of his unfortunate mishaps, and the fact that his celebrity is a shadow of what it once was, KaKAO has never stopped trying to reclaim his place at the top. And unlike some of his now retired peers, he still might be good enough to pull it off.
KaKAO burayı oynayabilir. Yan taraftan
Herkes
Bolulu geldi.
geldi.
Bolulu yakalandı yalnız. Şimdi KaKAO devam edecek. Sıçrayı kullandı. Stefan'ın üzerine değil. Hayır. Kenzuke'nin üzerine gidiyor. 3'e 1 durumda. İlk kanı döktü burada. Canını da yeniliyor. Canını da yeniliyor. Skoru da aldı. Sıçra da geldi orada. Ama KaKAO'yu son anda durdurdu Luana.
The true tragedy of KaKAO is that he's been forced to watch as his former teammates went on to reach unprecedented heights while he spent years desperately fighting for the career he should have had. But to his credit, in addition to being the unluckiest superstar in League history, he might also be the most dogged. It's simply not in his nature to give up.
Here comes KaKAO. First blood is available. Lands a Sonic Wave and resonating strike. The damage back and forth. Taste the fear. Defensive leap, but the Krog's helping out, and KaKAO gets first blood.
At 24 years of age, KaKAO still has time to pen triumph into the final chapters of his career. And while it remains to be seen whether he can reclaim his former glory, one thing is for certain. He'll always be a figure that the community will celebrate for his obvious and undying love of the game.
You know, I remember his demeanor and his personality more than his gameplay at this point. You know, like he was a great jungler, but you know, he was also just an extremely entertaining personality, right? He was always laughing easily and loudly, you know, just seemed to, more than a lot of other players, just seemed to be having just a ton of fun being a pro gamer.
And that passion for the game, in spite of the years he spent being beaten down by it, is what makes KaKAO such a compelling character. Perhaps more than any other League of Legends has-been of his caliber, he's the one everyone has always hoped would make a comeback. And for the sake of that lovely, lilting, and beautifully obnoxious laugh, let's hope that he does.
Anything can happen in Champions.
Faker was so good at League, he might even be silver in Dota. Honestly though, I'm Riot Games trash now. Like, I've been playing so much Valorant lately that Anyway, as I was saying, that's right. Not only did KaKAO and KT lose, but they got fucking clapped, becoming the first roster. Wait.